Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, the peace of mind your family deserves.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours at the end of last week. We start today's show with a most tragic occurrence. Actually, a couple of tragic occurrences. First off, 12-year-old Shadrika Lee, darling child, by all accounts, wonderful girl, murdered this weekend after an altercation ensued with her mother and a 26-year-old woman over a man that both had recently been dating. According to law enforcement, 26-year-old, 36-year-old Patrick Johnson and 26-year-old Esther Williams were inside a home on Forest Grove Avenue when a car pulls up, and by all accounts, these two women had a running feud over the guy that both at one point or another had been dating. For some apparent reason, she exited the home with a gun, fired one shot at the vehicle in the driveway, and hit the 12-year-old, killing her at the scene. I cannot begin to imagine what it must be like to lose a child of that age to such a senseless and selfish act. There is something seriously amiss in our society when two women in an ongoing feud, one decides to settle their differences by firing a gun into a vehicle, not knowing who's inside the car, not knowing who may be injured, not knowing who may be killed. This 12-year-old had absolutely nothing to do with what was taking place between these two grown women. And for her to pay the price of her life for something she had absolutely nothing to do with is yet another wake-up call for our society. I am one of those that is not going to spend time pontificating on where the blame lies in this. I think that's fairly obvious. But at the end of the day, this darling 12-year-old child had absolutely nothing to do with what had transpired between these three adults. And for her to lose her life in this fashion is an indictment of our society at large. Hopefully, justice will be served in this instance. I'm tempted to say, hopefully, justice being served will deter someone else from doing something so selfish and so horrendous. But being the realist that I am and seeing things of this magnitude on a regular basis, I'll leave it at that. In other tragic Louisiana news, the folks in Denham Springs are rallying as only Louisiana small town people can do behind Officer Sean Kelly, shot and wounded recently. It is the quintessential small town America coming together for law enforcement as the community rallies around Officer Kelly. There are a number of events that are planned for this week. And for those of you that are saying, man, I wish I would have been able to do something to take part in these activities but unfortunately I had something else planned. Well, in no way, shape, or form is it too late. As you see on the screen, there are a number of events coming up in the near future. Sporting Center in Denham Springs has created a t-shirt design to raise funds for the family for Officer Kelly's care. And they would really appreciate if you were to come out, purchase one of the shirts, and if you cannot, for whatever reason, do that, you can make donations through PayPal, Cash App, and hashtag Behind the Line. As a matter of fact, you can also mail checks in to P.O. Box 2490, Denham Springs, Louisiana, zip it 70727. Be sure that you put DSPD, as in Denham Springs Police Department, in the memo section of any electronic donations or checks that you send in. This is yet another instance where I am proud as a Louisianian to say that we rally to the cause of law enforcement, and I'm sure that there will be other opportunities, and we will pass that information along to you and yours as it becomes available to us, so that if by chance you want to take part and haven't been able to for whatever reason, we'll pass that info along to you and yours. Finally, in Louisiana news, it appears as though, at least for the time being, our illustrious Louisiana legislators will not get a pay raise. There was an effort to boost the pay of Louisiana legislators and fell by the wayside. You may or may not know that Louisiana legislators have not had a pay raise since the 80s. I chuckle because I can hear tens of thousands of you right now saying, well, they hadn't done anything to deserve a pay raise. That's a different show for a different day. They are currently making $16,800 a year to serve in that capacity. And the argument here was, because the pay is so low, there's a certain segment of the population that is excluded from running because they can't put everything on hold to run for a legislative position only making $16,000. I will leave that to you to decide whether there's any merit to that argument or not. At the end of the day, it was voted down 16-5. Came nowhere near passing. There are inklings, however, that there may in the future be another push to have the pay increased. There is also, word has it, a move to put the pay of legislators under some other entity that would vote on whether or not legislators deserve a pay raise. Just a thought. If I could think of an entity that I would like have vote on whether or not legislators get a pay raise, that entity would be us, the voters. Who better to decide where our tax dollars go than the individuals who put up the tax dollars to pay their salaries? I know it's an old-fashioned, probably antiquated idea, but since it is our money, I would think we would probably be the people that should vote on whether or not they get a pay raise. Like I said, probably an antiquated way of thinking, but that's just my 2 cents. We're heading into the first break of today's show. When we come back, it is the second segment, the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, so you know what that means, right? It is time for yet another illustrious edition of Now That's Just Stupid. Got a bit of a novelty this week. First time I think I can remember in an episode of Now That's Just Stupid where we get a twofer. Actually, 2 in one story. Stick around. You're going to enjoy this one when we come back with the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS
garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. If you are new to the show by chance, you may not be aware that the second segment of every Tuesday show we dedicate to the ever-expanding, rapidly growing level of stupidity in our country. What we're talking about here, however, is not your regular ordinary stupid. What we're talking about here is a level of stupidity that requires its own word and its own spelling. STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start in the great state of Louisiana, unfortunately. I don't know what it is going to take for these individuals to learn. It is happening with a degree of regularity now that makes me question the entire process. In recent memory, and we've shared this with you, the number of employees at jails and prisons in Louisiana that are arrested for smuggling drugs into a penal facility, it seems as though every other month we're seeing a story about an employee at a local jail or a prison arrested because apparently they think they're smarter than everybody else and they can sneak drugs into the prison for sale. Well, enter the latest addition. 19-year-old Olivia Boswell, allegedly caught sneaking drugs into the St. Tammany jail, arrested and fired from her job after deputies discovered she was sneaking contraband into the facility. She was arrested after being found bringing narcotics into the jail. Booked on charges after being fired, by the way, malfeasance in office, introduction of contraband to a penal institution, and possession with intent to distribute. You know, I when I saw this story, I tried to think back to when I was 19. And I guess it's a part of the human experience. At 19, you figure you know more than anybody else on the planet. You have people, however, at the St. Tammany Parish Jail that have probably been there 20, 30 years or more. They have worked in a job longer than you've been alive. But you apparently think you're smarter than all these people. Well, I can't vouch for your level of intelligence, but I can say you're just stupid. Secondly, I think this is a first. In all the time that we have been doing, now that's just stupid, I don't think we've ever had a twofer. One story that had 2 episodes of stupid entailed in one story. We start with the leader of the free world, President Joe Biden. When are these people going to learn at the White House? You cannot put this man in a public setting and allow him to speak. Because if you do, it's probably not going to end well. So Joe Biden delivers the keynote address at an HBCU graduation, Howard University. You know where this is going, don't you? Yeah. Joe Biden, room full of black people. So you know where this is going already, right? Even if you don't know the story, you know where it's going. Do you have any idea how insulting it is when you get in front of a room full of black folks? Howard, by the way, is in D.C., one of the most crime-ridden cities in America. And Joe Biden starts harping on the fact that, according to him, white supremacy is the greatest terror threat this nation has ever seen. Well, I guess he would know. I mean, after all, he was the co-author of the 1994 crime bill that locked up more black people than any other single piece of legislation since Jim Crow. So I guess he would know about white supremacy. He did, after all, deliver the eulogy for a former Klansman. Remember that? So I guess he would know about white supremacy. You know how you can debunk this? It's very easy. Howard's graduation or any other room full of black people, auditorium, theater, whatever, all black people, ask the question, how many of y'all know a black person that's been murdered? Every hand in the room is going to go up. All right, put your hands down. How many of y'all know of a black person that was murdered by a white supremacist? You might get one hand. All right, put your hands down. How many of y'all know a black person that was murdered by another black person? Every hand in the room, Hulse. Every hand in the room is going up. But you going to preach to me, a room full of black folk, about white supremacy being the greatest threat to this country? Of course, now you know what happened. All right, so what's on the agenda for tomorrow? Well, we got you delivering the graduation address at an HBCU. Oh, it's going to be a lot of Democrats, right? Well, yeah, a lot of black people. D.C., by the way, voted 97% for Joe Biden last time around, just so you know. So old Joe and his compadres in the White House figured, what are we going to talk about, Mr. President? How about white supremacy? Oh, that'll work. It's a room full of black people. Just play the race card. That's all you got to do. Everything be fine. Never mind the fact that the overwhelming majority of people in there, even those who voted for Joe Biden, know that that statement is straight up stupid. Oh, but it gets much better. It gets much better. Speaking of stupid, you know, typically when universities invite a politician, particularly a politician, to deliver the commencement address, they will typically bestow upon them an honorary degree. No different here. Howard University decides, well, he is the leader of the free world, so why don't we bestow upon Joe Biden an honorary doctorate? Okay, you with me so far? Of course, now, you don't just give anybody the opportunity to bestow upon the leader of the free world an honorary doctorate from your institution of higher learning. So they call upon the president of Howard University, historically black college and university, institution of higher learning. They call upon the president of Howard to bestow this honorary doctorate on Joe Biden. The president of Howard, in awarding this honorary degree, says the following, and I quote, "We have admired your sound analytical intellect." Wait, Hoss. Wait a minute. Back up the bus. Joe Biden's sound analytical intellect? You wrong 3 times in half a sentence. Sound? No, he's not. Analytical? Are you freaking kidding me? Intellect? In what universe? Oh, but it gets better. Believe it or not, it gets even better. He then goes on to say, not only do we admire you for your sound analytical intellect, but we also admire your popularity on both sides of the aisle. The man has a 36% approval rating. And you're talking about Joe Biden's popularity on both sides of the political aisle? What are you smoking? 36% approval. But he's popular on both sides of the political spectrum. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. Plumb, unadulterated, stupid. Now, you know what else is stupid, don't you? Approaching end of life and doing so unprepared for your final arrangements. That's where the newest sponsor of the Clarence Bug Show, Dignity Memorial, and our friend Lee Serio can help. You don't want your family to have to suffer in addition to your passing because your final arrangements haven't been taken care of. Prepaid funeral plans are all the rage. It's a fact of life. Unless you are so fortunate as to be here when the rapture comes, you're going to die. And it is your family and your loved ones that will be left trying to pick up those pieces. Listen, y'all, call Lee Serio. Let him put your mind at ease. There are some things in life you can't put a dollar figure on, y'all. Peace of mind for your family is one of those things. Dignity Memorial works with over 2,000 funeral homes all across America. So no detail is too large or too small. Give my friend Lee a call, will you? 225-315-6329. 315-6329. Tell him Clarence Buggs told you to call him, and he'll take care of you. By the way, you talk about great corporate neighbor. I didn't find this out until a couple of weeks after. Let's say you purchase $10,000 funeral. And if, God forbid, one of your minor children should die before you do, they will give you, free of charge, a $10,000 funeral for your minor child. Listen, y'all, I don't know about you, but for me, that's the kind of customer service, that's the kind of customer appreciation that I want. Give Lee a call. And don't forget, let him know that you heard about him right here on the Clarence Buggs Show. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this done. When we come back, a problem with our culture. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving. Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, as a black conservative, you can probably imagine the heat that I take on occasion when I talk about things in the black community. Man, you sure hard on black people. Well, I have to be. Well, why do you say you have to be? I have to be my own worst critic because I cannot hold white people accountable for things done to people of color if I don't hold people of color accountable for things done to other people of color. That's called being a hypocrite. And Sergeant Edward Claude Buggs Sr. didn't raise any of those in his household. I have spent my entire professional life calling things what they are. And y'all excuse the saying, but I'm too damn old to do anything else now. It's what I was raised on. It's who I am. So when I see these things, I'm obligated to talk about them. We have a problem in our culture, y'all. You literally have to be blind and or stupid not to acknowledge it. For example, just this past weekend, as if the black community was not already the least educated community in America, we have 2 college students, both female, both African American, murdered and left on side of the road in New Orleans. One of whom was days away from getting her degree from Nunez Community College. The other, a 20-year-old sophomore at Southern University. As if we already didn't have a deficit in educated people in the community of color, we now have removed 2 more of our best and our brightest. Then you turn around. Lakeland, Florida. A 13-year-old in a car reported stolen with illegal weapons. Police attempt to pull the car over. The car takes off, of course. When they finally stop the car, the occupants all take off on foot, of course. Officers are shouting commands, stop, stop, stop. the 13-year-old continues to run, goes into an apartment complex. When the officer giving chase turns the corner, here's the 13-year-old in a crouching position and fires a shot, hitting the officer. 13 years old, shooting at the police. Other officers show up. He then engages in a gun battle with the rest of the police at 13 freaking years old. Oh, but Joe Biden says white supremacy is the greatest threat. The Journal of the American Medical Association this week released the results of a survey. These are not Clarence Bugg's numbers. These numbers come from the Journal of the American Medical Association, well-respected organization. You know what they found? In Chicago, the JAMA found 50% of the residents of Chicago will have witnessed a shooting or a murder by the time they hit 40. 50% of the residents of Chicago. You want to take a guess what color they are? You want to guess? 50% of them will have witnessed a shooting or a murder by the time they turn 40 years old. We have a problem in our culture, y'all. All you have to do is look at the number of households with no father. I'm not talking about a baby daddy, I'm talking about a father. All you have to do is go online or turn on the television and look at the rap music industry. Listen to what they're saying to our children. And we can't understand how it is a 13-year-old is in a gun battle with police. Go to the movies. Look at the trash that Hollywood is putting out with the black audience in mind. You don't have to look very far to figure out wherein lies the problem. Now, at some point, y'all, we are going to have to come to the realization that this is our problem. It is affecting our children and our community. And we are the ones that are going to have to step up and solve it. Pure and simple. It should be blatantly clear by now. Hollywood, they ain't gonna do it. They're too busy turning out filth for our children to consume. The rap music industry? Really? You expect them to fix the problem? They're the ones who are contributing to the problem. Now, I know a lot of y'all, bless your heart, and I ain't mad at you. It's just an observation. A lot of y'all have no clue what your children are listening to. But all you have to do is go to the corner store. That's what we call it in the black neighborhood. Go to the corner store and sit in your car and listen. The stuff that our children are blaring out of the car stereos would make a sailor blush. And in many instances, they are listening to it with their adult parents in the freaking car. But it's those evil MAGA conservatives that we need to be worried about. No, Hoss. You want to find the problem and who to blame? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. We have allowed this filth into our communities. We have allowed it to take over our communities. And the fact of the matter is, white people that do care, you know what they're saying, don't you? Why should I care? Apparently, they're okay with it. I mean, it's their children listening to it. It's their children recording it. They're buying it for their children to listen to. Why should I care? And many of them are afraid if I say something. Excuse me, sir. You realize the effect that this kind of stuff is having on your kids? Oh, now you're a racist. You're going to have to fight to get out of wherever it is that you are when you started this conversation with them. You're going to have to fight. We have a problem, y'all, in our culture. And it is totally and completely out of control. You know, if you take just a minute and think about it, you have to wonder, where does all this come from? And who's in charge of this stuff that is infiltrating our communities and poisoning our children? Well, let's see. Movies, entertainment, music. Oh, wait, that's right. It's all Democrats and liberals that run these institutions. The same people that are telling you conservatives are the enemy. I mentioned something last week, and my dear friend Dal told me, said, bro, you were spot on in that. You do realize, do you not, before you get from the media and the Democrats your daily dose of, ooh, you better watch those conservatives, ooh, those evil MAGA people. You do realize, do you not, most black people believe in God, just like conservatives. Most black people believe a boy's a boy and a girl's a girl, just like conservatives. Most black people believe crime in our communities are out of control and we need more police, not defunding of the police, just like conservatives. Most black people believe the government ought to keep its grubby little fingers out of my paycheck every time they can, just like conservatives. Go down the list, y'all. Go down the list, and you will soon figure out these people have been lying to you all along. And yet, you will go out there and vote Democrat. You know, some people would say, we deserve what we get. What's the old saying? You get the government that you vote for. Final break of today's show. We'll get it done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Few
things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or Gretchen Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, for the peace of mind you deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final abbreviated segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, I guess about 2 weeks ago, got the greatest compliment that I've received in recent memory. Dear friend of mine, he is my former road dog. Back in my early radio days, I hosted the television show for Eddie Robinson, the legendary head coach at Grambling State University. 13 of the last 15 years that he coached. So every weekend, I'd hit the road, going to Grambling for a home game or flying with the team all across the country wherever they went to host this show. And my dear friend, I call him JT3. We have a mutual friend who watches the show. So he asked my former road dog, my road buddy, he said, man, I was watching the Clarence Bug Show the other day, and I've heard him on the radio. Does he actually believe the stuff that I hear him say? My friend told him, said, man, let me tell you something. See, the same thing that he is preaching today, he was preaching this 30 years ago. So yeah, he's genuine. He truly believes wholeheartedly what he says, and if you listen to him, you'll see the truth behind what he's saying. That was the greatest compliment that I could receive, particularly because my parents were of the generation that a man's word is his bond, and a hypocrite is the most despised individual on the planet. You have to believe in who you are, what you are, and be consistent with it. And at the end of the day, I have an obligation, and I will not shirk that obligation for anyone or anything. When all is said and done, I will not, when I stand before God, have him say to me, I blessed you with certain talents. I blessed you with a platform. I blessed you with the gift of communication. And what did you use it for? If I cannot use it to help my people, then what good is having the talent, the platform, the wherewithal? I beseech you, brethren, I'm going to go scriptural on you, by the mercies of God. If it makes it easier for you, take the personality out of the picture and just listen to the truth. Do that, and everything else will take care of itself. It pains me greatly to see the shape that my community is in. But it pains me even more when I see us continue down the same path that has brought us this far. Some of y'all are not going to get that till later. But that's okay, as long as at some point you get it. My time's up, y'all, and I got to go. But you already know the drill. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. You know the good Lord loves you, and you know I do too. Best news is there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. God bless.